Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. So yeah, in this video I'm going to be talking about my top 10 favourite movies from the year 1974. So yeah, another banging year for movies. Absolutely really enjoyed compiling this list, and yeah, just had an absolute blast with these. Yeah, like always, these are going to be in accordance with IMDb. They all have 1974 against their name. This again is not the right list. This is just my list, my personal taste in these movies and how I've ranked them. The way you rank these movies is gonna be, you know, completely different, and so it should be. Can't all have the same tastes. But yeah, I'm gonna leave as well down below in the description all my honourable mentions from '74. Looking back over it, it was just another great year. So yeah, that being said, gonna kick it off with number 10. So coming in at number 10, guys, we've got Harry and Tonto, starring Art Carney. And Art Carney actually won the Best Actor at the Oscars for this movie. Yeah, this is a great film about Harry, who is pretty much being evicted from his apartment block building. It's getting demolished, and he decides to go and live with his 3 kids. But he decides that it just isn't working out, and he just doesn't want to spend that much time with them, to be honest. And he realizes he'd rather be anywhere else, and yeah, it's him and his cat Tonto going on this adventure. It's a great underseen movie. I really enjoy it, and I just have a blast with it. Art Carney gives an absolutely fantastic performance in it as well. Yeah, there were just a couple of other movies I enjoyed more than this one, but yeah, this takes the number 10 spot. So yeah, that is Harry and Tonto. So coming in at number 9, guys, we have the first of 2 Francis Ford Coppola movies. So yeah, at number 9, we've got The Conversation, starring Gene Hackman. Great little spy espionage type movie that I really enjoyed. So you've got Gene Hackman, who plays this sort of this wiretapper who is pretty much hired to like uncover like affairs going on and stuff like that. And he ends up sort of overhearing something he possibly shouldn't, and it leads to just this absolute nightmare. Yeah, you've also got Harrison Ford in this movie as well. Really cool movie. I always forget Harrison Ford showed up in a few early Coppola movies, this and Apocalypse Now. But yeah, this was it was a really good movie, really well executed, and I really enjoyed this one. So yeah, coming in at number 9, we've got The Conversation. So coming in at number 8, we've got one of the earliest sort of what we deem to be slashers. So yeah, coming up next at number 8, we have Black Christmas. Really cool concept. One of the original slashers. Really enjoy this one. Great simple premise about this college sorority house full of these girls who start getting these phone calls by this creepy stalker. And yeah, it's just a fabulous horror film. Really great ending, really great atmosphere. The voice of the caller is just absolutely chilling, and yeah, it's just one I really like. Really have a great time at this one. Got some great cast to it as well. Obviously with the likes of Margot Kidder from the Superman movies, but yeah, this was a really cool early slasher that I really enjoyed. I've heard stay away from the remakes. Some of them are absolutely dire. Just stick with the original. But yeah, that is my number 8 pick, Black Christmas. So coming in at number 7, guys, we've got another joint tied result at number 7. 2 movies directed by the same director that came out in the same year, and these are 2 of possibly what I consider to be 2 of the best comedies ever. So we've got Mel Brooks's Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein. These are 2 movies that I just really tend to watch back to back. Blazing Saddles is just a great satire on the Western genre, and you've got Young Frankenstein as well, which is a real sort of love letter to the old Universal horror movies, but with an injection of comedy as well. Yeah, these are just 2 fantastic comedies, just absolutely brilliant. I know Blazing Saddles maybe nowadays doesn't hold up as much as some might argue, but yeah, for me it will always be, you know, I'll always view the movie's issues as a product of the times. But yeah, both really, really great movies. I just love the fact that Mel Brooks was able to bring us two completely different types of comedies in the same year. I think that's an amazing feat. And yeah, both starring Gene Wilder as well. Yeah, just two absolutely brilliant movies. So yeah, that is my number 7 joint pick of Blazing Saddles and Young Frankenstein. So coming up at number 6, guys, we've got Dustin Hoffman in Lenny. So yeah, this stars Dustin Hoffman as the comedian Lenny Bruce, quite a controversial comedian as well at the time. And the movie is just mainly comprised of Dustin Hoffman doing these stand-up routines as Lenny Bruce, and the movie's all the better for it. I just think it's really, really well executed done. I didn't really know much about Lenny Bruce going into this movie, but yeah, judging by some of the things he said on stage, he seemed to divide audiences, and I think it was very much you either loved him or hated him. But either way, it's a very, very well executed performance from Dustin Hoffman, and I just think it's a really great film that I really enjoyed. So yeah, that is my number 6 pick, Lenny. So coming in at number 5, we've got one of my favourite sort of action movies from the 70s, but when you think about it, there isn't really much action to it, but I really enjoy this film nevertheless. And it is The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. Yeah, just an awesome movie with Walter Matthau and Robert Shaw. So yeah, it pretty much follows these three, I don't really want to say terrorists, but sort of kidnappers, and they end up taking this train hostage, and Walter Matthau is the leading officer who's taking control of the situation. And yeah, it just makes for some brilliant dynamics between the two of them. It's just a really, really awesome movie. Really enjoyed this one. Haven't seen the remake, but yeah, this is the one I go back to the most often. And yeah, it's just a fantastic movie. It has as well one of the best closing scenes in a movie ever. It's just brilliant. Just when you think they've got away with it, it just really, really ties up nicely, and again, it's so well executed. It's just a fantastic film, to say the least. But yeah, that is my next pick, The Taking of Pelham 1, 2, 3. So coming in at number 4, guys, we've got Roman Polanski's Chinatown, starring Faye Dunaway and Jack Nicholson. Another great love letter to the neo-noir movies from the 40s and 50s. This was just another really, really well done movie. Didn't like it the first time I saw it, but on rewatch it really, really grew on me. There's a sequence in this movie with Polanski himself, which it just really, really makes me feel uncomfortable. If you know what I'm on about, it's the scene with the knife. It's just, the effect is just too well done. In my opinion, it just really, really makes me feel icky and uncomfortable. But yeah, the movie itself is just great. Jack Nicholson as this detective. Jake is just absolutely brilliant. And yeah, I just love the film. The two leads in it are great. It leads to some disturbing things that they uncover in this movie. But yeah, it's just a brilliant film, and I really, really enjoy it. So yeah, that is my number 4 pick, Chinatown. So coming up next at number 3 is a Brian De Palma movie that I saw for the first time last year, and I fell in love with it. I just absolutely loved it, and that is Phantom of the Paradise. An excellent musical that I just had an absolute ball with. Great story, great premise. It's sort of follows this guy who wants to make it as a music writer. So he writes this cantata, shows it to this really high up person in the music industry called Swan, and the movie starts with him absolutely being fucked over by this guy, and he's left deformed, he's left beaten. No one believes him. And the movie is just this great revenge movie, but it doesn't go the way you think it does. There's a lot of things that need to be uncovered in this movie. A lot of stones need to be unturned. and it's just brilliant. I love the music in this movie as well. Don't let the fact that this is a musical put you off if musicals aren't your thing, because I think you're really missing out on something great here with this film. But yeah, I love the costume designs in it. I love everything about this movie. Just worked for me, and I just really, really enjoyed it. It was another nice addition to Brian De Palma's filmography that I hadn't seen before, and it was just a real treat, this one. So yeah, coming in at number 3, we've got Phantom of the Paradise. So coming in at number 2, guys, we've got the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Superb horror film. Really, really enjoy this one. This is one of those movies that tricks you into thinking you've seen something gruesome and horrific and gory. Just on that merit alone, it deserves to be this high on this list. I just have a fantastic time with this one. It's creepy, it's eerie, it's unsettling, it's disturbing. It's just brilliant. The heat in this movie that you feel is just phenomenal, although I did think the remake captured that a little bit better. But yeah, this was one that I remember watching when I was younger and just absolutely loving it. I saw the remake first and then wanted to go back and watch the original, and I just had a great time with it. Thought it was great. Some of the characters are a little bit fucking insufferable in this movie, but if you can get past that, I think you'll have a great time with it. Yeah, there's one in particular who just really, really gets on my nerves, and I think some people might agree with me on that one. But yeah, the movie itself, though, I still really love it. I still have a great time with it. The ending to it, for me, is just absolutely fabulous. I love the ending to this movie. I think it's great. I remember talking about the ending to this movie with people I went to school with who saw the movie and absolutely loved it as well. It's just a really, really awesome movie that I just really, really enjoy. And yeah, that is my number 2 pick, guys, the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. So leading us to the top spot now, guys, with my number 1 favourite movie from 1974, and it is The Godfather Part 2. Love the first 2 movies, but the second one did something for me that had to pip it to the top spot, and it's my favourite Godfather movie out of the trilogy. The second one just does everything that a sequel should do. It advances the story, it moves the story forward. With the Michael Corleone character played by Al Pacino, and as well servicing as a backstory as well to Vito Corleone and his younger years, played by Robert De Niro. The opening to the movie is just absolutely great. I love it. It gets me hooked and invested from the get-go as you find out what happened to Vito Corleone's family. And pretty much how he moves to America and rises up the ranks as a gangster and becomes the gangster we know it in the first movie, and how he sort of gets revenge on people. It's absolutely harrowing and it's just great to watch. It's just a great film. I just absolutely love Godfather 2. I think it's brilliant. And as well as that, we've also got the stuff with Michael Corleone and the issues he has to deal with his brother. It's just a brilliant sequel, and the way that movie is presented and the way it's served up to us is just absolutely delectable, and it's just a fabulous movie. Really, really enjoy Godfather 2. So yeah, that is my favourite movie from 1974, The Godfather Part 2. So yeah, guys, those are my favourite top 10 movies from 1974. Hope you've enjoyed the list. But yeah, gonna leave the video there, guys, and say thanks very much for watching. Stay safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.